Hey everyone, how you doing? This is Ahmad Green, Green Bay Packers all-time leader in rushing, and you're watching Packers Total Access Live, your daily source for Packer content. Go Pack, go!
What's up, guys? Welcome into Packers Total Access. My name is Clayton. You can check us out on packernet.com. Find me on Twitter at Packers_access. You can also find this show in podcast form. Just search wherever you get your favorite podcast, Packer Fan Total Access. Packer Fan is one word. Numbers are blowing up there, getting a lot of feedback. Everybody is saying that they're finding the pod and all that good stuff. So that's great news. Obviously, everybody being able to listen to it on the go and not just watching here on YouTube. Although we are live on YouTube, X, Rumble, everything in between, on Facebook too. Somewhere out there in Facebook. I don't know where it's being broadcast, but it's being broadcast somewhere in Facebook. Probably on a page I don't have access to. So, yeah, we'll see how that shakes out, right? So, what we're going to cover tonight, guys, we got a 5-round mock draft, which means we're going to make 4 picks for the Green Bay Packers. We're going to use the PFF mock draft simulator. So we'll dive into that, kind of see what we can uncover there. We got our needs listed out. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then we'll see if we have time to hit another topic. If not, we'll just hit the mailbag at the end. So if you guys have a super chat, if you got a question, we'll make sure that we hit the super chats at the end, unless they apply to the conversation we're having at that moment. And we'll also hit any questions we may have over in the Patreon group as well there. And again, you can find that mailbag chat section at patreon.com/PackerFan Total Access. We got Emilio in here. We got Tim back in the fold. We got Jacob in the house and ready to do this mock draft. Boys, how we doing?
Ready to go.
Good.
Absolutely ready to go.
You heard it from a fan right here. All right, let's waste no time, man. Let's get into it. I know the chat's already on fire. Appreciate y'all jumping in. If you would, spin those laces for us. Hit that like button. We greatly appreciate it. So, PFF mock draft. Boys, I'm going to ask you what your needs are real quick, okay? Needs for the Packers, not your personal needs here, okay? Center, cornerback, defensive line, offensive line, linebacker, and tight end is what I've got listed. I've got center as the top priority, in my opinion. This is assuming we don't sign anybody in free agency, okay? Just how the roster sits today. How would you try to fill some of these voids on the roster? So, again, I've got center, cornerback, D-line, O-line, linebacker, then tight end. How do you guys feel about the needs? We'll start with you, Emilio. What's the first need that comes to mind for you? Do you think it's center, or do you disagree there, man?
No, I think it would be center, and then add on to that O-line. So I'm not sure where we're going to be. So I think I would say center, O-line, D-line, corner, then backer, tight end, kind of around there.
Absolutely. My super fan says center. So he definitely agrees there, right? What about you, Tim? How do you feel? What do you feel about the needs here, man?
I hate to sound boring, but I agree. I'm center, interior O-line, interior D-line, trenches. Let's go.
Got it. That's what Clint C says here. He says trenches all the way. What about you, Jacob? Anything else that we might be overlooking here, man?
Kicker for sure.
Right.
You stole my thunder, Jacob.
I know. That was Tim's thing. No, honestly, I kind of like what Doug here is saying. Center, CB, D-line. I think that really is our biggest needs, glaring needs, if you will. Yeah. And then, like Emilio said, interior. We talked earlier about how guards necessarily aren't a high, quote unquote need right now, but I think they sneakily are a need. And then I think Clayton will actually highlight the fact that maybe we do need to talk about linebacker as well.
Absolutely. All right, let's get into it, boys. Let's start this thing. And again, we're using the mock draft database, or not the mock draft database, but the PFF database here to do this mock draft. Here we are at 52. No trade backs, no trade ups, none of that BS. We're just picking straight out here. Let's start with the needs that I've got listed. You guys let me know if you disagree. I'm going to go interior offensive line for center, obviously. Let's just keep that up for a second and see who the best centers are. And you'll notice Jake Slaughter used to be in the 90 spot. Now he's ranked up to 76. So you're seeing the PFF big board is catching up with our PTA big board, which is really cool. I don't think there's been one player that's dropped. They've all kind of risen right to where we had them at on our board or close to it, which is really, really exciting. So your top centers available are Connor Lew out of Auburn. Keep in mind, probably not going to be available till at least October with the ACL. Jake Slaughter, center out of Florida. Chase Basantis is a guard. Then you got Sam Heck, center out of Kansas State. DJ Campbell, guard. Bo Stevens, guard. Keelan Rutledge, guard. Jagger Burton out of Kentucky is now climbing up the ranks here. As you can see, he's up to 137 now, according to PFF. Then you got Pat Coogan down there, and then, of course, Logan Jones a little bit further down on the board. So when it comes to center here, we'll start with you. We'll start with you here, Tim. Obviously, Jake Slaughter is probably going to be the highest center on our board. I'll try to give you guys numbers, and Emilio, if you can help me search for those as well. Tim, I think you might have access as well, too. So what do you got?
Hold up, 49 on our board. Yeah, I think he's 49 or 50 on our board.
Nice. So we would be able to get the 49th best prospect at the 52nd pick at what we think is our top need. I mean, obviously, that'd be great value. Now, we've drafted Jake Slaughter before. I'm not saying we have to do it now, but what about you, Jacob? How do you see this? Do you want to see any other positions? Do you feel like if we could only pick center here, do we all agree that Jake Slaughter would be the pick, or is there some other direction you'd like to go?
Yes, but we might be able to get him at 84 as well.
All right,
Yeah.
Jacob, what about you, man?
Yeah, I mean, I just, I hate to, like Tim said earlier, I hate to be, kind of conventional or whatever, but I'd say take Jake Slaughter. Plus, I mean, how freaking cool would it be to have an offensive lineman that's just named Slaughter? Like, what? You kidding me?
And he's a fun watch too, man, to be honest with you. He's one of those guys that played on a program that definitely underperformed, but he was one of the few bright spots on that Florida Gator team that obviously has struggled in the SEC the last few years. But Joe Trev with the super chat, thank you so much, a.k.a. Ike Turner. Appreciate you. Hope Goody takes a look at the kicker out of Colorado. Alejandro, is that right? Did I get that?
Emilio, what'd you get?
Crushed it.
There you go. Alejandro Mata. Colorado gets windy sometimes. And he's got the ability to kick from 55 plus. I immediately think of our boy Mason Crosby, who I think came from Colorado, right? So
He did.
obviously out there kicking in that cold weather, got him used to that, to go into Lambeau and dominate for as long as he did. So what about you, Emilio? If we had to go center here, would it be Jake Slaughter?
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, I'm not mad at Sam Heck either. He just did not have a lot of snaps, obviously, in 23 there. But besides that, he had some pretty good run blocking grades. Dude isn't a terrible center there out of Kansas State. But yeah, I like Slaughter. There's up front there, and then Iowa as well. Bo Stevens. I mean it.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, he's a guard, right? So
yeah, he is a guard. Yeah.
But yeah, out of those three, I would probably bounce between Sam Heck and Jake Slaughter. Connor not bad, but I like those two.
I was going to ask you, though, Emilio, do you have a guy that maybe you think that could kick into center? Because a lot of times people, we talk about how it's easy to go from guard to tackle. Not easy, but like how people will draft a tackle, kick him into guard, vice versa. Is there anyone that you can see that would be kicked inside to the absolute middle as the center and just actually thrive?
Yeah, not exactly at the moment. The only one that I would say that has played guard and played center would be, who's his name? Pat Coogan out of Indiana. He actually played left guard all 770 snaps in 23. He played at left guard, and then 24 and 25 he played his 2,000 snaps at center. So that would be your floater at the moment that I know of. We brought in Monk, right, as center, played him at guard here and there.
Right.
Correct. Yeah. And the big talk has been Brian Parker. He's still listed as a tackle on PFF's big board. Many people are saying he's going to be a center. They're projecting him to play center. So when you look at what he did in college at the tackle position, 70, 78, 85, an ascending player, pass block grade 83.4, zone grade, I repeat, 89.4, zone blocking, gap grade 58.2. And then, of course, the run block grade altogether, 83.9. He was solid across the board. So that's how I would answer that question, Jacob. That's the one that comes to mind for me, for someone who can kind of move around a little bit. And they're projecting him inside because his arms are shorter. So obviously that's
here we go. Back to the 33, right?
The super fans asked about that too. He said Brian Parker out of Duke. Yep. Just when you were saying that.
Let's do ourselves a favor and let's just add corners and see if anybody pops at corner and if we get better value. So at the top of the list here, Emilio, Keontae Scott, if you'll look him up. Tim, if you'll look up D'Angelo Pons, because, again, these guys are shifting around a lot on the board. And then I'll look up Chris Johnson, and we'll see where these guys sit. You go ahead when you got it, Emilio.
D'Angelo Pons, 42 on our board.
Scott, 51.
Chris Johnson out of San Diego State, 21.
Ooh.
So, Chris Johnson, he's going to be gone. To me, according to our board, we've narrowed it down to two picks here. It's either going to be Chris Johnson, cornerback out of San Diego State, or it's going to be Jake Slaughter, center out of Florida. Like Tim said, there's a slight chance Slaughter could be there when we pick again in the 70s, right? Or in the 80s, wherever, 84. But if he's gone, do we feel good enough about some of the other options at center? Or do we just go, this is the perfect example of reaching for a need, right? Like we would be reaching for Jake Slaughter, although it might not look like a reach on our board. You're going to be looking up and seeing Chris Johnson in the 20s. That's tough. That's a tough look, man. And just see what PFF had him at here. 74 this year, 91.6, 92.4 coverage grade. Man coverage grade, 74. Run defense, 67.1. Zone coverage, 91.2. So he was even better against in zone than he was man there. So that's what we got it narrowed down to. I want everybody's pick. Let's go around the horn. Jacob, you got to pick between Chris Johnson and Jake Slaughter. Who's your pick?
Man, I feel like the position of need would be Slaughter. But if you look at the mock draft database consensus board, they have Chris Johnson at 45. So obviously not as high as we had them, but that to me sounds pretty enticing. If you're asking me, it'd be a tough one right there.
I'm going to quote Jimmy Johnson and say, shut up and make your pick.
All right, Chris Johnson. I'll go for it.
You going Chris Johnson? All right.
Yeah.
Tim, what about you? What would your pick be, man?
I mean, they're both needs, right? And I'm the one who said we might get Slaughter, at 84, but if we don't, I'm going to look stupid. And I'll tell you, looking at this draft, I mean, the earlier you go at corner, the better off you're going to be, it seems like. I mean, just initially. So there is a strong argument to go ahead and use your first pick in this draft on a corner. But that being said, I'm going with Jake Slaughter, Florida. Let's go.
So we got one for Chris Johnson, the other for Jake Slaughter. And like Tim pointed out, it seems like you find yourself in no man's land after pick 52 trying to get a corner. So it's tough, right? What do you think, Amelia? You're going to be the tiebreaker here, man.
Yeah. Tim, I'm sorry, man. I'm going to have to bring in Chris Johnson.
No complaints for me. I love the defense.
Yeah.
Tim said, I don't want it.
Because, we got Glove coming back, so we can figure out on the O-line. So right now I'm saying bring in Chris Johnson, let him do his thing.
So wait, this means if we get Slaughter on the board at 84, it's an auto pick, correct?
Oh yeah, that's fair. I'll give we'll make that deal, Tim. I think Goody does that kind of in the room too. Who do you want? Okay, if this guy's here, I'll get him for you. But right now I'm gonna take this guy with the pick.
All right. So we're going with who, Emilio?
We're going with Chris.
All right, Chris Johnson. There it is, guys. We're going cornerback with the 52nd pick. The pick is in. Cornerback from San Diego State, Chris Johnson. No, Mike Berry. It's not Glover. Okay, Glover did not re-enter the draft. So there you go. You got your cornerback.
Oh boy!
Now imagine
right now. Let's go. Oh, Jake's gone. 83. He's gone. Unbelievable.
No.
So imagine if you do sign Trayvon Diggs at $7.5 million, right, at corner, and then you go get Chris Johnson with your 52nd overall pick, and let's say Goody's board did match up to ours, and he's a top 25 talent. You got your starting corners. Keyshawn, go back to returning kicks, and you're going to be the number 4 corner. It is what it is. You don't like it, get out, right, is the way I feel about it. And let's put the best 11 on the freaking field, if that makes sense. So still got Bull in the slot. You'd have Keyshawn as a backup slot, Nate Hobbs as a backup slot as well. I feel a lot better about that cornerback room if we go that route. So top needs now, center, defensive line, offensive line in that order. So let's go back to interior offensive line. You got Chase Pasantis at a guard. There's Sam Heck. That was a guy that Emilio liked, obviously. Where do we got him on our board, Sam Heck? Did you look, Emilio? Is it like in the 110 spot or something? Am I thinking right?
So Heck is 118.
118. Okay, gotcha. And his PFF grade 78, 68, 80. And then if we were to go, actually, let's just calm on down for just a second here. Keelan Rutledge, Bo Stevens, all those guys are good guards, right? Obviously. Pat Coogan. If you were to sort by center, Emilio, do that for me. Sort by center and tell me your top 3 in terms of Sam Heck, Pat Coogan, and Logan Jones. Those are the 3 best centers available right now. Which one comes first?
Pat Coogan. It would be Bo Stevens but he's a guard. I'm sorry. Logan Jones. It's Logan Jones, center Iowa, Pat Coogan, center Indiana, and then Sam Heck, center Kansas State would be the order.
Gotcha. And Logan Jones on our board, just so you guys know, we've actually got him. Oh, you've got it sorted. That's right. So it sorts on my side when you do that too. I was going to try to see where we got him graded at. 77 is his grade. I'm going to resort it. Yeah, sort it for me there, Emilio, if you don't care about grade there. And then let's see. Let me search him one time here. Logan Jones is 90th on our board. So this wouldn't be a bad reach here, right? So we know now Logan Jones is the best center on the board. And now his average draft position is 169.3. His rank is 176. That would suggest we can get him easily at 120. Will we all agree with that?
Yeah.
So now we're pushing what we said was the top need to our third pick in the fourth round. You see how quick it gets off the rails, right? It's wild. So if we were to reset here now, and let's throw offensive tackle out there because we know the offensive line needs extra help. We're going to at least draft 2 offensive linemen. I think we would all agree there, not knowing if Elton Jenkins is coming back, Aaron Banks, whether he's going to be in the fold. Even if Aaron Banks is in the fold, I think we can still, try to improve that offensive line. So now you got Jennings Dunker at the top of the list here. You still got Brian Parker too. So Brian Parker, knowing what we know that he can play center, would he be higher than Logan Jones? I think he would, Emilio. So we've actually got Brian.
Oh yeah, Parker would be higher. Correct. Yep.
Where's Dunker on our board?
Dunker's pretty high. I'm pretty sure. I'll look.
22. We have him 22 on our board.
Get that man his money.
So here's.
But is he purely a tackle though? Can he play center?
No. He's definitely a tackle. Some say he could play inside and play guard, but let's assume that he's a tackle. Here's the thing though, Tim. We need other offensive line depth, right? We need help there. Jennings Dunker, I think, is a dog. And again, where'd you say we had him ranked at?
23rd or 23rd.
So you could get the 23rd best prospect with the 84th pick. Now, hear me out here. We already established that Logan Jones, right, was going to be the better center. Is that right, Emilio? Other than Brian Parker, of course.
Correct.
So now the decision becomes, do you take Jennings Dunker, hands down, probably 2 or 3 tiers higher than Brian Parker on our board? Do you go that route and then turn around and get Logan Jones later, or do you get the best center available right now in Brian Parker and go that route? You see what I'm saying? That's really where the decision lies now. Forget defensive line for a minute because we got an opportunity to knock this out of the park with a Jennings Dunker. Now, if we add actually, I said forget it. Let's just add it on here and just see if anybody pops. You got Darrell Jackson, defensive tackle. I'm pretty sure he's much lower on our board. Skylar Gill Howard, the same thing. I don't think either of those guys would compete with where Jennings Dunker is on the board. So
yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to Dunker. Like I said from the beginning, anybody from that Iowa O-line, I would take this year.
Yeah, Soder, great point here. Says Dunker is projected to move inside and has worked out at center. So I think they were trying a lot of different offensive line at center, and that's how Brian Parker kind of got his stock rising as well. To me, this feels like Dunker should be the pick. But
that's kind of like Gray Zabel last year, right? Where they had him playing everywhere and ended up playing center.
Absolutely. Yep. So let's go around the horn. I can't remember who I started with. I think we'll start with you this time, Emilio. You got to pick first here. Who is your pick? Is it going to be Jennings Dunker, Brian Parker, or do we wait and go with Logan Jones? Well, really, that's either way. That's the two that we're kind of deciding between here, right? Is Jennings Dunker and Brian Parker. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you take Jennings at this point. I mean, you just bring him in and you go for it. If he's that far up on the board, if we're going by the board and trying to compare it, that would either be one of those you're itching, you're scratching your head. Why is he still out? Why is he still there? And second, why is no one taking the chance? If he falls to us, I think we run that card.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right. Jacob said, I'm out of here. I'm sick of this. All right. Tim, what's your pick here, man?
Jennings Dunker, Iowa.
And I'm pretty sure that Jacob would do the same thing. So he just texted. My computer literally just shut off, says it's doing an update. FML. So there you go. We got breaking news, Tim. We got FML from Jacob.
Please turn off auto updates. We can't be having that.
Yeah. Listen, I think this is a slam dunk. And listen, you get Jennings Dunker, and if he can kick inside the center in training camp and he shows, okay, he can play center, awesome, you run with it. If not, you've got some great depth on offensive line. I think it's somebody who could potentially take over at left guard, seeing that they're training him inside, and you could just kind of go ahead and move on from Aaron Banks, obviously.
Yeah, I'm at the point this year with the offensive line that we were last year, knowing that, hey, we need to fill it, but we need actual depth. Like, we went through half of our line this year, and how many games did we have where everybody started everything? We had little to no continuity where, in our line. So you need the depth. If we have 9 guys that can play, perfect. You don't want them all to play, but at some point they're going to have to. I think we actually need to be, prepared this year the best we can.
Yeah. Chris N says Zabel is starting at guard now. J. Cole says Jacob got to jumpstart his computer.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jason Y says Zabel was cheeks this year. So everybody chiming in here. All right. Clint C says Slam Dunker. Slam
Nice.
Dunker. I hardly know her. Let's do it. We're going to Jennings Dunker. The pick is in with the 84th overall pick. The Green Bay Packers are selecting offensive tackle / interior offensive lineman / a world-class mullet. Let's just put it that way. Jennings Dunker out of Iowa. Love the pick. Absolutely. I feel like we're crushing this right now, man. This is great. So I'm going to mark that off as an offensive line and not necessarily a center, although we know we've got that versatility there. So if we do see a center fall in place, we can still go after it. And here we are now at pick 120. So with needs, let's put in interior offensive line for center, right? Actually, let's add tackle too. And now let's go ahead and insert defensive line like we talked about, Tim, and see if anybody kind of flashes here. Top available tackle out of Florida, Austin Barber. Guard out of Texas, DJ Campbell. Tackle out of Boston College, Jude Bowery. Guard out of Iowa, Bo Stevens. Defensive lineman, Tim Keenan III out of Alabama. And then you got Keelan Rutledge at guard as well. And I'm sure our boy is still there. There's Pat Coogan, and there's Logan Jones way down there. You'll be able to get Logan Jones possibly at 158, which that's really exciting, man. So what are we thinking here?
Tim Keenan also out of Bama. We could probably get him. I think we got him at 150s on our board.
Okay.
So we could probably get him another pick.
Got it.
If we want to go defensive line here. But
Right.
What do you guys think about Fishy Things comment here? Saying we literally have one good offensive lineman and he may start the year on pup. We need to add like 10 offensive linemen this season.
DJ Campbell, Texas. Let's go. Run the cards.
Jacob, it stole your mic. Hit that for me if you get a chance there, man. Bo Stevens in the 86th spot on our board, by the way. So, again, we're picking at 120. He's ranked 129th. His average draft position is 2.5 spots after what we're picking right now. If we want Bo Stevens, now's the time to get him. So let's see if we can find a better prospect than Bo Stevens on our board. We got him in the 86th spot.
I think Bates read my mind there. I think you just bring Bo home and we'd say everybody's coming back. We're just moving bring the farm and everything. We're moving it all up. We're moving it up a couple of states and we're just going to set it up here.
It is crazy because every draft season, when we do these mock drafts leading up to April, there's always a continuous theme. You notice that? Like every year, it's like there's something that continuously happens in all the mock drafts. That's the big thing that's popping is you can make a case for drafting all three of these guys in different spots. Like usually it's okay. It's very rare that you have one team and one unit at that, like offensive line or defensive line and the best prospects are on that specific unit on that specific team. It's just wild what Iowa's done. Now, here's the thing. The numbers would suggest, the law of averages would suggest two of these guys are probably going to be busts, Which ones are they going to be? That's the big question. So with that being said, is there anybody else here? Tim Keenan, like Tim pointed out, a lot lower on the board. D-tackle, what we're finding here, Tim, it's just not lining up with when we're picking, is it, man?
No, not unless you get Big Citrus early, if that's what you're thinking. Other than that, I think you're right. So I'd probably go O-line again here. Like Emilio said, let's just build out that Iowa O-line. Why not bring them in?
Caleb Proctor is an interesting one. This is suggesting we would be able to get him at 158 because his average draft position is 187. On our board, we've got Caleb Proctor at the 143 spot. So that's a guy, again, small school, southeastern Louisiana. I don't know if that would be a good move or not, but obviously he dominated down there. 65, 77, 86 this year. His pass rush win rate, 13.7%. It was absolutely through the roof. So I'm with you, Tim. I think it's boring, but offensive line makes a lot of sense here. So if it's going to be either Bo Stevens or Keelan Rutledge, Jacob, who would be your pick here, man, if you had to choose between offensive line? Is there an offensive lineman that you'd like to go grab? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I hate to agree with Emilio because what type of person he is. I think I just have to go Bo Stevens, man. Bring that corn boy. Bring him right up. Let's go corn on the cob every single night. Let's eat it.
Come on now.
All right. Emilio?
Yeah, you know it. Bo Stevens, give me that Iowa offensive line. You got 3 backups. You got glove playing. We're ready to go. That would be a killer offensive line for real. And I think Not So Cool was saying that you already have the chemistry with them. They already know calls. Yeah, obviously we need to figure out what Matt wants to do and learn all that stuff. But I think that would be pretty slick.
Now I'm going to throw something at you guys. It's a little bit of a curveball.
I don't want it.
What if I told you could get somebody at the same position, right, which is guard, as Bo Stevens, but instead of at the 86 spot, he's actually sitting in the 79 spot because that's who Keelan Rutledge is.
No, I'm okay.
Still,
I like continuity.
So we're just taking Bo because he played for Iowa, right?
yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Right. Hey, this is a democracy, all right. So let's roll with it here. Emilio says Bo Stevens. Tim, who's your pick, man?
We're going with Bo. Let's do it.
Let's go.
Jacob, it doesn't matter what you think, but tell us anyway, man.
Stevens.
Oh, it's unanimous. So I would have been the only one to get Keelan Rutledge. So when we look back in 6 or 7 years on the show, I want you guys to remember if Keelan Rutledge was better than Bo Stevens, go. Clayton said it. If Bo Stevens is better than Keelan Rutledge, forget it even happened. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, definitely forget. Yeah.
So with the 120th pick, the Green Bay Packers are selecting Bo Stevens, guard out of Iowa.
Here's the guy.
All right, so now we're going to count that first pick in Jennings Dunker as a center. So we got our center and our offensive line. All right. So now the top needs are defensive line, linebacker, and tight end. Somebody said in here earlier, why do we list linebacker as a need when you got Tyron Hopper? How much football have we seen Tyron Hopper play? And this is assuming Quay Walker won't be back in Green Bay. Do we not need another linebacker? So, again, how much time will he see? How many times did we see Quay go down with an injury? Remember the second half of the Bears game when Edgerrin Cooper had to leave the game? Well, it would have been nice to have a nice little stack backer. It's almost like it's more important of a position than most people kind of lead on, because, again, I've got stack backer as tier 2 importance. So defensive line and linebacker is what we're going to stack the board with here, if that's all right with you guys. Y'all disagree? Is there any other positions you'd like to see here?
Nope.
And then, of course, we got tight end we had mentioned briefly just because we've seen that room get absolutely annihilated this year, right? So best available on the board according to the positions we just loaded up. Miles Kitselman, tight end out of Tennessee. We actually did a little profile on him earlier today. Tanner Kazoil, we talked about him, right? That's a dude he's one of my favorite tight ends in the draft. Daquan Wright, tight end out of Mississippi. You got Cole Brevard, defensive tackle out of Texas. John Michael Gillenborg, tight end out of Wyoming. And then you got Demont, however you say it, Capehart, defensive lineman out of Clemson. What are we thinking here, boys? Do we just kind of try to force defensive line here, or do we maybe go a different route?
There's Capehart here. Capehart we have at 150. So that's not a terrible spot for him where we're at there.
All right, so 150 for Capehart.
Cole Brevard.
Yeah, I'm looking for him right now. I don't see him.
Oh, boy.
He may not be on the board.
Yeah, he might not be on our board.
He should be.
There he is, 221.
He's way down. Got it.
That's why you couldn't find him, Tim. The guy was sitting at the bottom of the board sleeping.
What about Xavier Harris there out of Ole Miss?
And then, of course, you'll have Caleb Proctor next, too. So look up Xavier on there, and I'll look up
194.
194 is
Xavier
Harris. Okay, got it. What about our boy Proctor? Give me that one real quick.
Proctor, 143.
There it is. So this is what's tough, Jacob. This is the part that sucks. It's a small school. Well, how much stock do you put in that? Christian Watson went to a small school, right? Tucker Kraft went to a small school. I think we'd all agree, right? So it's like, okay, I say small school, I'm talking about they're not considered one of the upper echelon, FBS programs, obviously. So the board says Proctor would be the pick here at defensive tackle if we want to go that route, assuming we don't go linebacker or tight end. Do we have a problem with that, Jacob? Would you be okay with taking Caleb Proctor out of southeastern Louisiana, or do you go, nope, it's too early to do something like that?
Honestly, I think that I would be comfortable with it just because, like you said, obviously.
I think you lost your mic completely now, Jacob. It is really quiet, brother. I'm sorry. Double check it there. Look how frustrated he is. He gets so angry, man.
I'll plug it back in. That always fixes it, Jacob.
Unbelievable.
Oh, there it goes. You got it? Oh,
No.
damn it.
Not the power source, Jacob. We can't be doing that. No, but
Jacob's mad right now.
yeah,
God.
yeah. It's you get a little nervous though, Clay, right? When you see that college image there, and you're not used to seeing what that sign is, that sideways S there. Yeah, it's I wouldn't mind it. Maybe take a chance on somebody.
Yeah, Jacob, can you hear us, sir?
I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yes,
it's your mic. It's like your mic is not plugged up or something though. So
Golly.
Yeah,
All right.
you sound like you're in a paper bag underwater right now.
all right, so linebacker to me isn't really lining up that well, to be honest with you. I'm looking at these linebackers. Nobody's grabbing my attention.
I'd say you're looking tight end or D line here.
Can we just clear it and go best available? And
Yeah,
just
we can
look
do
at-
that. Yeah.
Just for
Best available is Miles Kitselman, tight end out of Tennessee. There's Tyron Montgomery. You've got obviously a wide receiver. You got Malachi Lawrence.
No, we don't need another Ty Montgomery in Green Bay.
Bad memories, really, really bad memories there. So, yeah, I mean, honestly, if you're just going off the PFF big board, it's suggesting you go tight end here. It really is. So, I don't know if I like that. I think I'd rather go get our defensive tackle. That we would prefer. But Tanner, where's Tanner at? I'm trying to remember Tanner Kazoil. Was that K-O? I'll look right now. I got you, man. Oziol.
97.
97 on our board, man.
Oh, that's that huge dude, right? That's like that 6'7" or 6'8" guy. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So again, the board is saying go tight end right here, right? Is what it's saying. So do we do that or do we reach on a defensive tackle beyond the board here? What do y'all think? Jacob?
I don't know if you guys can hear me or whatever or not, but I'd go D-line at the moment.
Okay. I like
All right,
that.
got it.
Can you hear me?
It's really quiet. It's really
For
quiet.
Lord's sake.
It's all good, man. Just hang out. You're
We'll
good.
square it away.
Yeah. Work the
D-line.
chat for me, big dog.
D-line for Jacob. Tim, what about you, man?
I'm torn because I feel like tight end's probably the better value, but if we don't go D-line here, when the hell are we going to go?
Undrafted, right? Undrafted.
Yeah.
It's obviously the last pick we got. So
Yeah.
it's the perfect scenario where we talk about all the time. The board is literally, we've got three needs right now. D tackle, linebacker, and tight end is what we got listed as our needs. The last ranked need for us is tight end, in my opinion. Okay. And here it's the best position available on the board. That's what sucks, right? So if we were to go defensive line, it would be the small school guy there. Caleb Proctor would be the best on our board. But we got to make a pick, though. Let's do it.
I'm going D-line. I'm a defense guy, so I'm going D-line.
So you going Caleb Proctor?
Caleb Proctor. Yep.
All right. Jacob, say it loud. Say it proud, sir.
I'll go Caleb Proctor.
All right. So
yeah, and you fixed the mic. Attaboy.
Did I?
Actually, he didn't. He just
you
screamed,
did.
I think. So what do you think, Emilio? Not that it matters. I'm just wanting.
Yeah, no, I know it doesn't matter. You know what? I'll stick with the hometown boy. Bring me my tight end in here right now. It's not like we haven't taken a shot at D-line in the later rounds anyway. So
You like Miles?
Yeah, Mr. Miles. Welcome to the
You
squad.
go Miles Kitselman here?
I like that.
Whoa.
I like it.
Let me sort by tight end real quick. I want to see how far apart they are. And Miles Kitselman's really interesting, guys. I think you're gonna see his stock start to raise a little bit, especially if he does interviews and things. Because this dude is like everything you want in a football player. He's one of those just team first guys. So we got Tanner Kazoil we're talking about here in the whatever it was 97 spot. His grade is an 83.8. That would suggest he's actually worthy of the 83rd pick, right? Miles Kitselman is all the way down to 166.5.
Mm-hmm.
So, but Emilio.
But I'm asking for a different kind of player. I'm not asking for a refrigerator to sit on the inline, on the right side or what left side. I'm looking for somebody that can move a little bit.
Yeah, right. All right. Well, we're going to go with the small school defensive tackle, Caleb Proctor. I think it was.
After all that, well,
my tight end would be Tanner with Miles Kitselman. However, and Tim outweighed us there in their vote. So we're going to go Caleb Proctor. It's wild, man. You'd think there'd be a better defensive lineman we could take there than a Southeastern Louisiana guy. But again, man, it's going to look like a reach to PFF, but our board is saying it's screaming this is the dude. And again, when you look at the size, just a quick little glance. Look how often he played in the B gap, too, guys. 541 snaps to only 3 in the A gap. This is a 3-tech, is what this is. Again, smaller level there. 6'3", 280.
That's like Colby Wooden before he got turned into the general size.
Right. That was when he was just a lieutenant.
I don't know.
He got promoted.
Dude, that's where I'm hanging up, man. Dude's not even pushing 300.
That's all right. He's a ball of clay, man. We're gonna mold him. We're gonna take him to Culver's. We're gonna get, put some meat on him.
He ain't getting past that Iowa offensive line I brought in, Tim. That man is done for.
All right, Caleb Proctor.
This is what happens when you don't take Big Citrus at 52.
See?
That's all I gotta
say.
There
you go. There you go. All right, so here is your draft, gentlemen. With the 52nd pick, Packers took Chris Johnson, cornerback out of San Diego State. With the 83rd pick, they go tackle/interior offensive lineman/center, Jennings Dunker out of Iowa. And then we went and got his teammate in the 4th round, pick 120, Bo Stevens, guard out of Iowa. And then, of course, in the 5th round, we went with a smaller school here, little project player, defensive lineman, defensive tackle, Caleb Proctor out of Southeastern Louisiana. So that is your draft. How we feel about it, Jacob? Say it loud, say it proud.
I like it. I definitely like the offensive line. I'm sorry?
You fixed it, bro. You did.
Did I? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Fishy things. This draft was terrible. Love you guys. All right. Well,
thanks for swinging by. You know what I mean?
It was a conglomerate of our brilliant minds.
That's terrible.
So it's terrible. I like it. It wasn't probably ideal. I think I probably agree, which is weird because Tim, usually being the defensive mind that he is, I feel like he probably maybe was right going against certain positions. I don't know. It is tough just not to get a 3-tech in the first couple rounds because it's just it seems like it falls off a cliff.
Or a corner, right?
Or a corner. Well, we did that, way. Tim.
Right, but it's one or the other. I'm agreeing with you.
Right.
I agree.
Either
get a 3-tech or a defensive lineman early, or grab a corner early. It seems like.
Yeah, and for me, I like what Chester says here. Dunker, Stevens, and Proctor sounds like a law firm. So there you go. Again, if it were my draft, and I would have taken the tight end right there and got a top 90 talent in Kazoil. And all right, now you've got a tight end that's going to compete with, in my opinion, he would compete with Musgrave for. I think Lincoln disagreed.
The boys they like the draft.
He can't move like Musgrave. Musgrave's got long legs, man. I don't know. Like, can that guy get vertical like Musgrave?
If you have Kazoil competing with Musgrave, right? Now, here's the problem. He's not a body mover either. You know what I'm saying? So, like what you were saying with Miles Kitselman's a guy that he's going to be a solid blocker at tight end. That's kind of his MO, right? So, again, there you go. There it is. Tim, how'd you feel about it, man?
I give us a B-. I think overall we did okay. I would agree. I'm like I said, you can flip corner or defensive line in this draft. If you don't go early on one, you're not going to get the other. You're going to have to go later. So I think we did really good, and we're halfway to Emilio's goal of getting the entire Iowa offensive line. So I feel good.
2 more picks there, Tim. We probably would have had them, but. Where we're at right now, I just feel more confident in the D line that we have coming back versus the O line that we have coming back. So I feel like you need to kind of reboost our O line side a little bit heavier than our D line. You got the general, you got Micah, you got LVN. Yeah, maybe they're not there all at the beginning. You got Jacob's boy, Mr. Brenton Jr., and then there's a lot of options. So I feel like you want to try to rebuild that offensive side. Give Matt a little bit, a little bit of something to work with, and then we can, you solidify outside with the corner early. That was, I think, our best pick, really. The fact that fell and we were able to pull that, Chris Johnson out of there in the 2nd round, I think that's a deal.
Yeah, Deadfish talking about how fast he is too. Guy supposedly has a 4.24 40.
Oh, I remember, Jacob. Remember when he had 99 speed in Madden and you could just hand him the ball and he could just take it to the house for the Titans, no problem. Outside halfback toss and he just takes it to the house.
Unbelievable.
On rookie, yeah, dude. Yeah.
On rookie, yeah. Exactly. Here you go. Let's see here. Coach Lynn says we have to build the trenches at all costs. Completely agree, man. Completely agree with that, Coach. So, all right, there you go. There's your mock draft. We got one question over here in the Patreon group I'm going to hit real quick before we wrap up. And you guys just keep an eye out if any other super chats come in, anything there. Again, you guys, the best way to support what we do here at PTA is just join the Patreon community, patreon.com/PackerFan Total Access.
Question on the Patreon, Clay. Zach Will 1 said, can y'all break down the differences between Patreon memberships?
No, there's no difference at all, Zach. Let me explain what it is, man. $3 gets you access to everything, okay? We had people reach out and say, hey, how can I give more? How can I give more? So we set up a $3 tier, a $5 tier, and a $10 tier. So if someone wants to do the $10 tier, it's just being generous to the channel. There's no, okay, you get extra added benefits. If you're just wanting to join the Patreon community, $3 is good, man. Don't feel obligated to do anything else. So again, we just have
the rest goes to the girls at the Oval Office. Okay. Scared money don't make money.
Perfect. All right, Chris N over in the mailbag questions for the show here says, Clayton, how many positions would you consider that we have holes? All right, and not those kind of holes, Jacob, and how many holes per position? All right. I'm wondering if Goot hits a home run at every pick, how many short or surplus players do we have on the roster? So I think what he's essentially asking is how many players do you feel like we do need to fill the roster with at each position? Center, obviously, one, right? Cornerback, I feel like you've probably got room for two, especially with our boy, his name's evade me now. Emilio, who was it? Played for Tennessee, messed up his ankle. Bad, really.
We're talking about our boy.
Haddon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, obviously with Haddon, being out too. Now, here's the thing. If you go get Trayvon Diggs, Chris, if you go get him in free agency, you know what I mean? Now it's probably, it's truly down to one, So I'd say, one center, one cornerback. In terms of D tackle, I feel like you only got spot for one, to be honest with you, because Kobe Wooden actually played pretty decent last year, guys. If you go back and watch the tape and you look at how he played the run at that nose tackle position, he done a really good job playing the run, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Now, it doesn't mean you wouldn't pass up on a solid, nose tackle, obviously, but you got Devontae Wyatt. We're still looking for that 3-tech of the future, that 3-tech that's a dominant 3-tech. I'm not saying you're going to find him after the first round. We know that's going to be a tough find, right? But I would say one D tackle, offensive line. If you put center and offensive line together, I feel like you could at least two offensive linemen, preferably one being a center. However, if someone wants to go grab three, I get it. I understand. And again, I think the comment that was made earlier is Zach Tom might not be ready for week one. Everything I'm hearing, he's going to be good to go for week one. So I think you guys can kind of not worry about that so much. So I would say two offensive line, possibly three. Stack backer, one linebacker is all we need. And then tight end, I would say one as well. So really the only position where you go, all right, we got more. We need to fill it with more than one body. For me, I think it's definitely offensive line, probably 2 to 3 offensive linemen, to be honest with you.
Yeah, mine would have been corner one, backer one, D-line one, 3 O-line.
Look at Daryl. Yeah. Daryl's on the same page. Brilliant men.
Me too. Hate to be boring again, but I agree 100%.
All right. Yeah. There you go. Hopefully that answered your question there, Chris. I like that you put a message up there to see how many times you can say holes, though. I think that was the obvious the goal there, but it is what it is. So
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
Too damn bad.
Oh, now he knows it. Okay. All right.
All right. Any parting thoughts, guys? Let's wrap this thing up. Get out of here.
No, I like that. I mean, I like that we had an extra pick there. You get a little bit more kind of dabble in, but I like how you're chipping away at it, right? You don't want to get inundated with all the picks, diving into the deep ends of the draft when you still need to figure out what's going on up front. And I like kind of how they're landing different each time. The fact that we got a corner, I think people would have freaked out if you get Chris Johnson there in the second.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. And there it is. Look, right on time.
See?
So, there you go. All right. That's it, guys. We're going to wrap it up. Appreciate everybody jumping in here. Thank you so much, Joe Trev, for the super chat. We will be back tomorrow. Probably do a morning show. We'll see how it rolls out in the morning. We'll definitely be live at some point tomorrow. And again, as always, the best way to support what we do here at PTA is to join the Patreon community, patreon.com/PackerFan Total Access. Everybody who's hearing my voice on YouTube and X, do me a big, big favor. Wherever you get your podcast, search Packer Fan Total Access. Packer Fan is one word, and go subscribe or whatever it is to the pod. Give us a 5-star review, all that good stuff. We greatly appreciate it. We're getting that rolling out. You can still find this show on PackerNet. We typically do about 5 shows a week with PackerNet, and then the rest of it will be overflowing, obviously, to our channel as well. So with all that being said, thank you guys for hopping in here. Appreciate you, Tim, Emilio, Jacob. It's always good to get the whole crew back together. So we will see everybody tomorrow. My name's Clayton. This is PTA. Go Pack Go. Jacob, don't you say anything inappropriate as we end this. All right.
Here we go.
Nice.
Bye, guys.